Yeah, I had the Fathom note taker and then it started making me nuts.
Oh,
Canceled it and now I can't figure out how to get it back.
oh,
Because it would like record meetings that I didn't even want recorded.
oh, and you can stop it. Like I could end it right now if I wanted to.
All right, I gotta play with it.
A
Hello,
little
Nicole.
controller up in the corner here. But no, if I'm taking notes, I miss things. But I have to like take notes or I'll feel like I can't
Yeah.
remember it 2 days later.
Yeah.
So I
Mhm.
appreciate you letting me do it because some meetings they won't. So,
Yeah,
which is
some meetings
fine.
they don't want it, and that's okay. But it's
Yeah.
also great because like the Fathom transcript is so much better than the Zoom transcript.
Way better.
The
Way
Zoom is
better.
very cumbersome to read. It's awful.
Yeah. And I pay for it, so I get
Mm,
the tasks. Like
mhm.
it'll like listen and go, okay, you said you were gonna do this, and it puts it in there for me.
Maybe I don't want that.
You don't have to.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's an extra.
Yeah. All right. So Julie's just joining now, and Deb is she's teaching a class. I just went in it for like 20, 25 minutes. So she's probably going to be late because I think she's just finishing that up. Hi, Julie.
Hi, Jen.
All right. So we have today, and then again next Wednesday, we're just going to have like a little closing ceremony and do like a very nice energy healing for all of you and just a little Q&A. So next week will be just bringing everything, wrapping it all up and bringing it to a conclusion. But today we're going to be talking, well, we're going to talk a little bit about writing and using writing to communicate with your guides. And we're going to do a writing exercise. Then, did everyone bring their cards? Okay, excellent. So then we're going to, Diana's going to teach you a 9 card pull. That's a lot of cards, but honestly, ladies, after the way you read last week, because last week Diana was like, we should do the 9 card pull. It's an angel, like you can call it angel or your guides or whatever. And I was like, that's too many for the first time. And then after the way you all read, I was like, oh my God. I always listen to Diane, and the one time I didn't listen. um, like
So fun.
seriously,
So
lady,
fun.
uh, like we've been watching people learn cards for a long time. Like nobody reads like that first time altogether. And I know Nicole's been playing with the tarot, but still, honestly, you guys knocked it out of the park. You really did. Knocked-
Totally.
Yeah, totally. So, so that's what we're gonna do today, okay? Any questions or anything before I turn it over to Diana, who's just gonna open up with the Akashic message for the day? We're all good, okay? All right.
This was so beautiful. And there's a lot, I think there's a very deep meaning here for each and every one. But this is the way they put it um, in their words. Let your beauty shine through and continue to grow with the sun and the moon. Trust your divine gifts that you have all worked so hard to develop, and you will continue to develop through your divine being and your loving hearts. Water this daily and watch it grow. With love, the light beings. And they've never signed off like that before. So this was a beautiful message, I think, for all of us.
Thank you for that. And I feel that resonates so much
Mhm.
for me because I always say, and I think I said this to you like when we first started out, like we're never really advanced intuitives because there's always more. So we're always just on this journey of advancing and strengthening that connection to your soul, strengthening the connection to your guides and all that information that's there. So whatever you're doing today will be more and more and more over time, even if you abandon it for a while. Because even when you abandon it, like your intuition never stops running. So anyway, I love that. Thank you, Diana. Thank you. So I want to talk to you a little bit about different ways to use writing to connect with your guides. And sometimes, there's with all these things that we're doing, one way may feel like, oh, that's where I get like the most information. And that could be different for each one of you. And overall, I have found that for most people, writing really opens up the gateway, I guess, so to speak. And there's two forms of writing when you're writing intuitively. So one is called automatic, which you probably has everyone heard of automatic writing? Okay, that's okay. I'm going to explain it. There's automatic writing, and then there's something called inspired writing. Both ways of writing are you using your clairs to receive information, just like you do when you're talking to your guides or you are using your intuition or working intuitively. So again, you're connecting into your clairs, into your power to start writing. So automatic writing is a little more rare. Most people are doing inspired writing. And I want you to think of them as kind of like a spectrum where there's just writing in your journal, like writing from your mind, right? Starting to use your clairs and you're getting some inspiration in your writing, maybe more and more inspiration where it's literally you're writing as fast as you can to keep up with the information that you're receiving from your clairs. And then kind of blending into the automatic writing, which is really the most powerful writing because that's when you're not even doing it at all and spirit's actually doing the writing. So let's start with inspired writing. So inspired writing is really writing with your clairs. And I'll bet if any of you ever journal, you kind of slip into inspired writing. Have you noticed when you're writing, like new ideas will come to you? Or it could end up being about something that you weren't even concentrating on. It's like a completely new topic. Yeah. And that's you kind of slipping into that inspired writing. And for intuitive development, practicing inspired writing is really a really powerful tool. And if you do nothing after we end our work together, but write, you will be getting so much. Okay. So that's why I've said to you all along, like after sitting in the power, spend some time writing because it just opens up for more and more information. You can write and ask about anything, right? You can write and ask about a message, maybe perhaps like a message for the day, like we talked about last week. Maybe it's specific questions that you have on your business, or you're trying to help a client through something and you need a little help, like you need a little guidance for that client. You could be asking about that. You might be creating a new offer. You can ask for information about the new offer, how to promote it, where to talk about it, how to talk about it, what to charge for it. All these things can come out in your writing. And a really powerful way to start is when you sit down, start with maybe the questions that you have that you want to kind of discuss with spirit that day and write down the questions and then just start writing. And when I started my mediumship journey, I was also encouraged to write all the time. And a lot of things came out in that writing. I didn't understand at the time where it was all coming from because I wasn't linking the use of my clairs with my writing. Like I wasn't understanding that those two things, that's what was happening. But a lot of things came out in those journals. And in my very first journal, I was in class with Diana, that's where we met. And what came out in the writing was all this teaching that we were going to be doing together around the gold and diamond energy. I didn't really even understand what the gold energy was, It's like all this stuff came out. And here we are all these years later, like putting into real life. But as I continued my journey of writing, I was reading a book by a medium. Her name is Suzanne Giesemann. Have any of you heard of her? Julie's heard of her. What I like about Suzanne is she's like a regular person. She was actually, what was her position in the US Army? But anyway, she worked in the Pentagon. She had like a really high rank in the US Army.
Navy, honey.
And-
She was in the
No,
Navy.
Navy, sorry. Okay. And in that journey, she lost her stepdaughter. Her stepdaughter passed, and she started having communications with her stepdaughter, and her mediumship ignited. And she is now like working as a full-time medium, and she's written a number of books. And I was reading one of her books. I don't even remember which one it was, but I can look it up. And she was talking about how she was doing her writing, and all of a sudden she started writing in poetic verse. And I was like, as I was reading her book, I was like, I think I'm writing the same way she is, but not in poetic verse. Like, I think my writing is not coming from me. So I sat with my guides one day and I wrote in my journal, if this isn't me writing, if like you're really the ones giving me this information, or if this is coming from my soul, I want you to do the same thing to me that you did to Suzanne, and I want you to make me write in poetic verse. And immediately I started writing in poetic verse. Immediately. First, I was writing with my eyes closed because I thought they had to be closed. And then Spirit kept saying, just open your eyes. And I write always with my eyes open. You don't have to have your eyes closed for inspired writing. So I have journals filled with poetry. Sometimes I've even done that exercise in the middle of a mediumship reading where the spirit person will be like, pick up your pen and I'll write a poem. And the poem itself will contain evidence of that spirit person. So it's something that's really fun. And I'm just sharing this with you because I encourage you to play. You know, if you're not trusting it, like ask for something that you're like, I know I can't just, write a poem like that, and see what happens. I've been putting all of this writing together on and off because I'm not working on it right now into a book where it's, hi Deb, your class was great. I'm so sorry I had to leave early. And we're just talking about inspired writing, okay? And just asking your guides to push the limits with you and see if they can get you to write in a way that you know without a doubt that it's not coming from you. Okay. Now, if we're moving down that spectrum into automatic writing, so your inspired writing can get deeper and deeper where you're very clear that it's not coming from you. Even your penmanship might start to change a little bit. You might use terminology that you don't normally use. Even grammar, your grammar might get better. Like if you're not really good at grammar, it might start getting better and better as you're getting closer into what's called automatic writing. But true automatic writing is you getting into a trance state. So you're in a deeper altered state. So when you're inspired writing, you're still in a little bit of an altered state, just like when you're doing like your intuitive readings. You're in maybe an alpha state. Deeper along that journey, you might be getting close to theta or even crossing over into theta. And as you get into automatic writing, now you really need to be in the theta state. You need to be in the trance state. And you need to truly be doing it, intentionally going into that altered state. That's what you'd want to do. So sitting, getting yourself in that altered state of trance with sitting with a pen and a notebook. Your eyes would normally be closed in a trance state. And then in the depth of the spectrum of automatic writing, you are not writing. Spirit is moving your pen, moving your hand, and giving you the words. And it will not be your penmanship. You may even write like in Old English or something like that. Like you may use phrasing that is not the way anybody speaks. It will be perfect. It might look like calligraphy. It might look like a typewriter wrote it. There will be no spelling errors. There will be no grammatical errors, like as you move deeper into automatic writing. So truly automatic writing, you're in a deep state of trance. You're not writing it. You're still present when you're in a deep state of trance. You're aware that this is happening. You're still in control of yourself. But spirit is, you're allowing spirit to give you the words. That is rare for people to be in that depth of a state of automatic writing. Most people, and you'll see people all the time saying, I do automatic writing. They're really doing inspired writing. It's just there's a confusion about what automatic writing is. Inspired writing can be just as magical. What comes out of that? It can be teachings of things you don't know anything about that you have to research on Google. Okay, that's happened to me. I had like all this writing about the layers of the earth. I was like, what? I don't even know what the hell that is. But I want to let Diana share a little bit because I don't do automatic writing. I do inspired writing, but I can get into like a little deeper on that spectrum. And sometimes my penmanship does change, but with me, there'll always be spelling errors and grammatical errors, which is why I know I am not in the deep enough state because I'm terrible with all those things. And I haven't, when I practice trance, I practice trance speaking. I haven't practiced trance writing. However, Diana is further along on that. So her writing is more in steps over into the automatic writing. So I want to let her describe what that's like for her.
Thank you. And I don't know, it's been a while, ladies. So when Kim and I were talking about this, it was like, because I had never heard the difference between the two. This was the first time that I had heard about it because some of the people that I had studied with, it was all automatic writing.
Yeah, people just call it that. Mhm.
Right. It's just kind of like people are throwing things at the wall to see what's going to stick, kind of, in my opinion. But we were talking about this, and this has been a while ago when we were first starting out. And I remember sitting down at my desk, I closed my eyes, I picked up a pen with my left hand, and I'm very right-handed, and I was writing things that I had no idea. And I grammatically and spelling goes out the door for me. So, and everything, as Kim said, was perfect. And I was able to write in a straight line with my eyes closed. And the messages that they had were amazing. Now, I tried to find this for you. I've just recently moved and I still can't find some of my things. And I may honestly have gotten rid of them by accident, but I'm still looking. And I was trying to do this before this class too, is to go back into that state. But now that I'm so much aware of it, I was getting into my head. So there again, as what Kim's been telling us, letting stuff go, relaxing with it, getting into that trance state and just see what happens. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. So that's how it happened. And it only happened a couple of times for me. I didn't understand it. I was just doing it like Kim. And we were talking about the golden and the diamond energy. I
Mhm.
was drawing diamonds and she was writing about golden energy. I was like, oh my gosh, what do we have here? So it's interesting how all of these messages come about for us.
Yeah. And wouldn't it be so cool? Now I know Julie's going to light up because she's already doing it. Like you can write a whole book with inspired writing, you know? Or even take the book and take pieces of your inspired writing and then expand on it and write about it. Like,
That's
wouldn't
how I'm writing a novel, through
I
inspired
know?
writing. Yeah.
Oh, I know. We're excited. You're going to have to reach out to all of us when you get that published, Julie. Absolutely.
This isn't the one I'm writing for my business. This is another
Okay.
one, but this is
Mhm.
actually a novel. So it's it's fiction, but a lot of it is, I swear it's coming from my ancestors. So
Very cool.
I want a signed copy, lady.
yes, you can all have signed copies.
Yeah. We'll be your best promoters. We'll tell everybody.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
I may share
So-
too. Kim shared some of her writings earlier on when she started writing in the poetry. My heart dropped. It was so beautiful. I've shared that with you, but her writing was amazing. So it's interesting to see what can happen and what comes through that way. It was
Yeah.
so beautiful and
Mhm.
so meaningful. It was deep.
Mhm. Yeah, and spirit can be so playful sometimes. You know, it's not always as serious as you think it's going to be. It can just really, I mean, the purpose of that writing is to access greater wisdom. And that's why spirit wants to do that. It's the same as the purpose of trance speaking. It's to share greater wisdom. So these are beautiful ways that you can do it. And you know, not all of you will be out there saying, I'm an intuitive. You may not do that, but you may be able to use your writing to share that part of yourself. Like it can be shared through your writing. What if you sat with spirit when you want to post on social media? Have them write the post for you. I wonder what would happen, right? I really should do that more, actually, now that I'm saying that out loud. Yeah. The occasion that I do it, those posts usually do very well. Because spirit just knows what people need to hear that day, you know, more than I do as an individual. So, any questions about that? Is besides Julie, because I know Julie and I have talked about this, like how she's been doing this. Do any of you feel like you've been doing this on some level? Michelle, yeah. All the way to automatic? No. Okay. Okay.
Mostly, I mean, like it really like went bling, bling, bling when you said about posts. So sometimes with my posts,
Mm.
I do. And it's interesting because you know how Facebook brings up your memories and stuff. There's times where like I read that and I'm like, who the heck wrote that? That wasn't me. So
Yeah.
that just kind of cued me when you talked about that. But I do know that in the past I have, growing up, I used to write stories, short
Mhm.
stories all the time. And there were things that I would wake up with things in my head. So I used to keep a notebook by my bed so that I could write down what I dreamt about.
Mhm.
And there are times where I use the word dream, but in describing something that came to me, but it really wasn't a dream. Like most of the time I'm awake, but it feels like a dream in the way it comes to me.
Right.
And I make sure and write those things down. So
Mhm.
I have not journaled in years. I used to journal all the time. I have stacks and stacks of journals in a box, but I don't do it much anymore. So
Yeah. So when you sit in the power, if you want to, just have a journal or paper and pen on your lap. And you may, as you're sitting in the power, get into the more depth of the altered state, and you may start writing. You might not even realize it till you come out. So you can all even try that, you know?
yeah.
Nicole or Deb, do you feel like you ever do some inspired writing or automatic writing? No. Deb? No. You do it with speaking, Deb. So it's literally the same thing, but you'd be using your pen.
Mm.
Like to try it.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, we're going to try it now. You guys
sounds
want to try?
fun. You said something, Kim. You said trance speaking is to, and I started to write it down because it sounded like something I wanted to remember, and then I lost my train of thought.
The purpose of trance speaking is to share wisdom from the world of spirit. So
Thank you.
wisdom that we might not know about.
Thank you.
What's interesting about a lot of the more well-known trance speakers is it's often very similar types of messages.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Mhm.
So it's there's like a continuum of like something that we all need to hear.
Yeah, so it's
It's wanting
like
to.
when I don't do trance speaking professionally because I feel like I'm still developing it. So when I'm in class or practicing trance speaking, I have to get into the theta. You have to get into the theta state. You really do. So I put myself in that state. Your eyes are closed so that you can go into that state. And um, then I have a process of blending with spirit and then allowing spirit to speak. So basically, what's happening is I'm sharing myself. I'm not gone. I'm sharing myself with what I would call the council. It feels to me like a group of spirit people, not just one person, and allowing them to use me to speak. And when I do that, my voice is a little different. The way I speak is different. The people that I have practiced with will say, Kim, it's like you don't even breathe for a very long time, and then all of a sudden you take like this huge breath. So like the way I'm breathing is a little bit different, and I'm just sharing information. And I'm very aware of it. It's almost like, you know how I say to you guys, let your ego sit back and watch the show, right? Like the ego doesn't go away, it's still there. It's like I'm doing that with spirit. I'm sitting back and just watching it all occur. There are some physical changes in my body, but on Zoom you might not see. It's like my feet go up on their toes and my hands are a little bit suspended, but I've never like set up my camera where you can see that. So, and I'm not sure what that's all about. I just feel like that's just part of what happens. But you'll see trance speakers and their their faces might kind of look a little altered or changed. Their voices are different. They might speak with an accent that they don't have. Like a teacher that Diana and I have, Carissa, she'll speak sometimes with a more of like almost like a British accent, and she's from the US. She doesn't have an accent. Um, what else happens? Facial expressions, just there can be a lot of some people in trance will gesture a lot. I tend to be more still. Anything else, Diana, that I'm forgetting about the trance speaking? But really the purpose of it is it's for wisdom. Yeah,
No, I think you hit all of it. Yeah.
yeah. So maybe someday I'll do it publicly, but I have like a high bar for myself. Because it takes anywhere from like 5 minutes to about 15 minutes to get into that depth of a trance state. So that I just feel like that's a long time for people to sit and wait. Anyway, so yeah. So you're writing, it's just another way of doing it. You're not speaking, you're writing. Mhm. Yeah. And you don't have to be in that theta state to do the inspired writing. But really for the automatic, you're either crossing right into theta, like even like the brain state, the states of mind have a spectrum, right? Lightly in theta, now really almost unconscious. Yeah. And some people are doing trance speaking and they're past theta and they're unconscious. I think, what is that, delta? I
I
don't
I
know.
I only went into automatic writing once, and it was about a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I did not remember anything I wrote.
Mm-hmm.
And I just looked at it, I guess a couple of weeks ago it was, and I still don't know how I came up with half of the things I wrote. It just,
Because it came from your soul or your guides, because
yeah,
you really didn't, and it's
yeah,
like that with trance speaking, I'll come out and I might remember a few little blips, but when I'm practicing, like someone is the scribe, it's like one of us is writing everything that's being said, because you don't remember. But then as someone reads it back, you start to remember. It's kind of like if someone could tell you your dream back, you'd remember more and more details of it.
That's why I keep
Yeah.
going back to it every once in a while to see if anything came through.
Yeah, like a new piece that all of a sudden has meaning to you.
Yeah, that's what I
Absolutely.
do.
I'm
Yeah,
so glad that you do that.
yeah.
Do that with your writings, ladies. You know, do that. It's really interesting when you go back and you think, what the heck? Okay. All right, so do you want to try some? All right. Any questions before we start? What we're going to do is just bring you into a little bit of an altered state. So basically sitting in the power. And while you're getting yourselves ready, I would say just write, if you want, I can give you a question to write down that you can write about. Or if you want to write your own question, you can do either one. Okay. Um, I am going to give you a question that you can use if you want to. How can you start using your guides more in your business? And see what they say to you. All right. Or you can ask, anything that you want. You can just ask for a general message for today. All right. So let's all get nice and comfy. Actually, Diana's going to begin it and then I'm going to take over. She's going to like bring you down into the earth, into grounding, and then I'll bring you into the writing. So we're going to tag team.
Oh boy, ladies. We could all close our eyes and take in a really deep, deep, deep breath and let it out through the mouth, releasing all the tension, all of last night, all of this morning's things. Just let it go. And take another deep breath in through the nose, out through the mouth, but releasing just a little bit more, dropping the shoulders down, letting everything relax. And one more deep breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. And now imagine beautiful vines around your ankles going deep, deep, deep down into Mother Earth, down into the core where beautiful crystals are just waiting for you. And when you reach that core, you want to hook your vines around that crystal or bar or whatever it is for you. And now take a deep breath and bring up all that loving energy that Mother Earth has for each and every one of us, all the grounding that she's giving us, all the beauty up through your toes, through your ankles, up to your knees, and your thighs, and releasing everything else that may be on your mind today down to Mother Earth. Take another deep breath in. We're bringing up all of that love and strength from Mother Earth back up through our toes, our ankles, our knees, our thighs, up to the hips, and to the first chakra, the base of our spine. And with that rhythmic breathing, just let that go back down to Mother Earth. Bringing that breath back up, opening up that chakra, grounding us to Mother Earth. Now we're going to the second chakra, the sacral chakra. Opening it up, grounding us, keeping us strong. Back down to Mother Earth. Bringing up again that lovely energy that she has for us, the love, the strength, into our soul, into the root chakra, the sacral chakra, and now into the solar plexus. Anchoring us, protecting us, loving us, keeping us strong, and showing us so much beauty. And we're a part of that. And I'll leave you just for a few minutes to take this breathing in, opening up all those chakras, and feeling the love from Mother Earth.
And as you're feeling all that love from Mother Earth, you may even be noticing so much love from the world of spirit just pouring down into your crown. There is so much excitement for you in the world of spirit because now they know without any doubt that you have acknowledged them, that you have acknowledged your soul, the spirit within you, your vast inner power, your vast knowing, and you have acknowledged all of the support that is available to you from the world of spirit anytime you choose to connect to them. So this is a day of celebration. The world of spirit celebrates anytime any one of you acknowledges them, as they are working overtime to help you, to keep you in the center of your purpose, to help you always know that you are unconditionally loved with every breath that you take in this life. And that there is so much love and power supporting you. In fact, it's so vast and abundant that even just with a solid singular belief that you are connected, you can create anything you want. And what a beautiful thought that is. And as all of this energy is flowing through you, building up that soul power and the connection to it, reminding you that it is always there. It doesn't just fly away and come back when it feels like it. It's inside your body, it's around your body. It's in the world of spirit, it's here on the earth. Your soul is everywhere. And anything that it comes in contact with you, you can access. So as it's chatting with your guides, you can access that information right through it. And think of your soul as your own personal cell phone with a computer with information even greater than the computer that you are using right now on this Zoom. And just ask your guides the question that you wrote in your journal today. And pick up your pen. And even if you feel there is nothing to write, begin to move your pen. You can do this with your eyes closed or your eyes open, whichever you choose. And just write whatever your clairs are showing you. And as you do, just like when you're giving a reading and just like you were practicing with the cards, the more you write, the more the information will flow. I'm just going to spend about 5 minutes doing so. And enjoy. And some of you may feel that you can write for hours. And as you do this moving forward, you can even let Spirit know how much time you have. They will time it perfectly for you, the information flowing for exactly the amount of time that you have asked for, exactly the amount of time that you can give. For this is a gift that you also give the world of Spirit. Because with you and with your pen and with your soul, you allow their voices to be heard. And this is a beautiful thought. So play with this exercise anytime you wish. And just moving back now into your body, closing up that crown just a little bit, getting it nice and balanced. And breathing through all the energy moving right from Mother Earth all the way out, up through the crown, out into the universe. Completely connected, fully human in your connection to the earth and the universe. Knowing that you can live this way anytime you just close your eyes and take the sacred breath and remember. Maybe just be noticing your breath once again, that gentle breathing, never forcing it, just allowing it. Coming back into the Zoom room whenever you are ready. Nicole is back. I think Michelle is back. Julie. Deb doesn't want to come back. How's everybody doing? Were you able to write? Yay. Of course you were. Of course you were. Anyone want to share what it was like to do it? Did you feel like you were connecting to information through your clairs? Michelle?
I did, just because what I wrote wasn't, how do I want to say this? Isn't natural for me, for who I've been,
Mhm.
but it's where I know that I want to go. So, just a couple of things. So the question I wrote down was your question: find more quiet time to be in creation with, the question was, how can I use my guides more? And the first answer was find more quiet time to be in creation with us. So was the answer. But then they said, just bring one thing at a time. And because, I mean, Kim, I think you know me well enough now. I'm always working on many things at a time. It was very clear, bring one thing at a time. And it was interesting that It said the reason is so that you can create clarity and go deeper with each topic. Basically, that I'm not going deep enough with things that I am bringing to spirit. And so if I bring one thing at a time, I can go deeper.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There was more, but that was the big one.
Yeah. And that makes so much sense when you really think about it, right?
Yeah.
But sometimes we forget. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then it will be clear it's about that one thing. Sometimes we
Mhm.
get information we're not clear, like, where am I supposed to apply that? You know? So I kind of love what they said to you.
Yeah.
That-
Well, and I got very specific instructions on how to use them in working with my clients directly. So
Wow.
like very specific. Yeah.
Geez. First time intentionally writing inspired?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Okay. First time. Keep doing it.
Mhm.
Wow. That's huge. Anybody else want to share what it was like for you or anything that was said to you? Deb, I noticed you had your eyes closed. Were you writing with your eyes closed or were you sitting?
I was sort of doing both,
Mm. Mm-hmm.
but I just started, like you said, just put your pen on the paper and move it. And I was like, okay, well, that's scribble, and I don't know what that means. And then I was really having this whole argument with myself about I don't think I'm hearing anything and I'm not connected to anything. And the next thing that, came up was relinquish control and let us show you. And then there was some more scribble, and there was the stop arguing with yourself. And then something about it's wasted energy or something like that. But, I couldn't. So the whole conversation about arguing with myself is this really me just telling myself what I already know, or what is this? Like, because is this really anything? Um,
Mm-hmm.
so just the constant, my brain working so hard to prove that I can't connect to anything and it's not really happening for me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I felt like
Yeah.
that battle was going on the whole time.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that would be where um, you want to work on maybe trying to find the time more to sit in the power so that you can train the mind a little more about not interfering and not letting those doubts come in, you know? Um, and sometimes I think we doubt because we can't believe, like it's so hard to fathom that we're sitting inside this whole other world with all this support, when in the human life, most of us have support kind of come and go, people come and go and out of our lives. We often feel like we're handling something on our own. Like it's hard to imagine truly embody that there's people in the world of spirit that are devoted to us like for always, like no matter what we do, no matter what we say, no matter how much we ignore them, right? They don't give up. So it's a big thing that I'm asking you to do by really fully embodying that. And it is like a continuous process of sinking more and more into that, you know? Um, so like Deb, you've been sinking into, wow, I really believe I can do inspired speaking. So now I'm like asking you to shift gears and be like, okay, well, you can write too. you know? So, but over time, you're going to have the things that are easier for you and also like which pieces you really love to do. And that's probably what you're going to do the most of, you know? And that's okay. Yeah. Nicole or Julie, anything that you want to share? How was it for you?
I wrote another section of my book.
Oh, just like that.
Well,
Okay.
not a section, but a couple of paragraphs.
Awesome. Mm-hmm.
I asked for help and they came through.
I love it. I love it. Yeah. And that's the thing, like sometimes we have to just remember to ask, you know? Mm-hmm. Nicole, how are you doing? How was it for you?
Yeah, I mean, I think it was fine. I did go with the question that you gave,
Mm-hmm.
especially as I kind of think about, rolling out tarot readings and things like that. I was like, okay, let's make sure that makes sense. And I mean, it's all reiterating things that I already knew, which is like, I know that not everybody's going to be for me, and that's okay. And I need to do things that align with what I believe in, even if it pushes people away.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And the more you are authentically you and free to be you, the more you welcome the right people into your life, but the more you push the wrong people away.
Mm-hmm.
We all, as entrepreneurs, we have to put ourselves out there, and that's like a huge challenge, and it's a hard part. And it's like we open up an invitation, hey, criticize me.
Mm-hmm.
And we have to be ready for that, you know?
Yeah.
So did see, and I like applaud you that you put out there that you're going to be giving readings. I
Mm-hmm.
was like so excited to see that.
Thank you. I mean, the ones I've done so far I've gotten great feedback, so that
Yay.
makes me feel good about the direction that I'm going in.
Mhm. I love it. I
Yeah.
love it. And of course, you're getting good feedback.
Thank you.
And like the one thing that all four of you just did naturally is anytime you are giving information, you give it with so much love and kindness. And that's really so important, you know? Yeah. So even like sometimes people get scared by a card if they see a card being pulled. And if you are a reader that reads every card with love and kindness, then your clients don't have to be scared too, you know? I'm sure you've heard stories of people, or you've even had a reading where it was like, it just really depends on how things are spoken and the interpretation of it. I always say there's no bad card. It's just like the journey of our life. That's all it is. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm so glad you were all able to write and get something. It's phenomenal. I hope you have fun with it and I hope you practice it. You can use the meditation from this recording today to do that, or you can just sit and write. Sit and just say, okay, guys, what do you want to say to me today? What's my message for today? And see what comes out, you know? And the more specific you are, the more helpful the information will be. Kind of like in a coaching session, the cleverer you are with the question, the more that client's going to understand about themselves, right? You have to get specific. Yeah. So I sat and wrote with you. Do you want to hear what I wrote? Not me. I just wrote it. I made it possible. Um, this is truly a day of celebration. The moment has arrived with new dedication to pick up your pen and see what flows, to access information nobody knows. The sky has no limit and the sea is so vast. What will flow from your pen will happen so fast. It may escape your mind if you blink or you sneeze, so stay with your pen. Don't get distracted with a breeze. These writings will be simple. These writings will be vast. These writings will be for you and all that you cast. No more doubts and no more fears. We are one with you. Know this and embody it, my dears. We say this with love. We say only the truth. We say it with excitement that you are now our sleuth. For sharing the world of spirit so vast is like sharing candy in a kindergarten class. It's, I don't know what I wrote. I can't read it. It's received with joy, gratitude, and love. And this we say to you from us through our little dove. So I'm not a poet, by the way.
That's
Anyway,
amazing.
so anything's possible. Just ask for it. Okay. Yeah. Nicole, you know what would be really fun for you to practice since you're giving card readings as your own practice, like pulling a card and then writing about it and see what
Okay.
comes out, you know? And you'll be able to use that in your readings.
Yeah, I mean, I think because I'm still new to tarot, I'm like, okay, I don't know what the pentacles and all those different things mean. So
Yeah.
I look it up. And I would
Mhm.
like to not get, I'd like it to be at that point where I don't have to look it up anymore.
Yeah. And tarot is like learning an oracle deck, you can learn quickly, but the tarot, like people study it for years on end. There's so much in it. So like I read tarot, Diana reads tarot. Like, do I know everything about the tarot? Like all the symbolism? Nope. I'm
Yeah.
continuously learning. So I just even through the doing, you're gonna understand your tarot more and more and more.
Yeah.
And I don't know what tarot deck do you have because there is a deck with a great book about the explanations of the cards that I would recommend. I could put it in the email. It's this
Okay.
deck, the Barbara Moore deck. Uh,
Okay.
this is the book, and it's like that you can really learn about the tarot from her book. Some of the
Yeah.
books are really skimpy and they don't give you much.
Yeah. I have one that's tattoo art. I have one that's Disney
Hmm.
villains. I have one that's
Yeah,
Cozy Witch. And they all like the tattoo one is not great, but the other
yeah.
two at least have pretty, and one with cats that my friend gave me.
Oh, I love that. I love that for you. Yeah. So like you're using tarot decks that are not the traditional
Right.
pictures.
Yeah.
So it makes it more challenging to read them intuitively.
It does. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So have one deck that's traditional for you to be teaching yourself
Yeah,
with.
I do have one of those too, but
Okay,
I don't
good.
use that one
Good,
very
good.
often.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And you don't have to, but you can use it like for your own learning.
Mhm.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I love that you have a cat one. Okay. All right, everybody. Well done. So how much time do we have left? Okay, we have just under a half an hour. Can we teach the 9 cards in under a half an hour? Yes, we can, because I'll put the meaning of the spread in the email too, so that you can have it. And before we do that, I just want to let you know, I know some of you are coming to my class tomorrow, and you're going to hear me say this, and you're going to be like, why didn't we know about this? So I'm going to share something with you, okay? This program, as I do it the next round, I've made it much bigger, it's longer, and it's actually a certification. I'm certifying people as intuitive visionaries. And a piece of that that you didn't get was Diane and I are going to be still working together. One of the pieces is really teaching you the gold and diamond energy and certifying you in that so that you can be using that in your business, and also teaching how to read the Akashic for yourself so that you can be using the Akashic in your business. So if you're interested in having those pieces, to be given that intuitive visionary certification, we're offering that to you for 333. So it would be a two months with us. We won't start that right away because I feel like I want you to integrate a lot of what you've been doing. And I also think people need breaks from commitments. I'm very much about that. So we would probably start that in the summer. So you don't have to, you can just be thinking about that. And if you want more information about really what that looks like and what that means for you, just reach out to me. Okay. Um, so I want to let you know about that. And then the other thing I want to let you know about is I really don't like endings. And one of the things that has been invaluable to me in my intuitive development is having times to practice and also ask my mentors like continuous work. So what I'm offering to you is once a month we get together for an hour for like an integration of things, practicing, still doing all the practicing, doing the intuitive work, practicing with your tools like the cards and the writing, sitting in the power, time to ask me questions about like how you're using it, how it's going in for you in your business. All right. So you can be thinking about that, and I'll put that information in an email too. So it would be once a month for an hour. Okay. So if you want to do that, we can do that. All right. So I want to pass this over to Diana now, because get out your decks. Get out your decks while she starts. This is just a fun card spread.
Yes. And we are gonna have fun. It's funny because as I was doing my writing, the last thing that they said to me, and I'm sorry, my dogs heard me knock, so they think somebody's at the door. To love is to laugh, and to laugh is to love. And I don't think we laugh enough. We take everything so seriously. So we're just gonna have some fun with this. So let's go ahead and just knock and clear the deck. Go ahead and shuffle the way that you want to shuffle. Now, Nicole, I haven't tried this with my tarot cards yet, but I know it would work. I know it would. And just think about a question. And for me, it's going to be, what do I need to know today? I'm going to do a 9-card reading on just what do I need to know today? Anything that you want.
So we each do our own question or do the same question?
Do the same question, or you can do your own question.
Okay.
Okay. When you think you're done shuffling, I want you to go ahead and lay out cards facing down, the picture part facing down, 3 cards, and leave room, ladies, to put more cards below these cards, okay? And then lay out another 3 cards face down, and then another 3 cards face down. Then I want you to turn your deck over so that
Bring that
bottom,
off from the top of the deck.
the 3 cards that you're laying down, yeah, from the top of the deck, okay? And then just turn your deck over so that the bottom of the card of the deck is facing up, and just lay it over to the side.
And we're putting those on top of each other?
Now you're putting them, so there was 3 on top, and then right below that.
Oh, like a grid,
Yes.
like a grid. Okay, thank you. Sorry, I'm a visual. That's hard.
All right, that's all right. Let me know when you have that completed. So the first 3 cards are dealing with your question, okay? So, but the way what we're going to read this, and I've changed this up just a little bit. So Kim, when we send this out, I'll explain that too. So the first row of the cards to your left, go ahead and turn those over.
The vertical or the horizontal row?
The vertical row.
Okay.
So my question, so this can be dealing with the past and or like yesterday, or it can be dealing with this morning at 8 o'clock. It can be whatever it is in the past in relationship to your question. Does that make sense? Yes, okay. So mine was the fourth chakra, which I definitely need to be working on right now. The fifth chakra, that's saying an awful lot too, and having an appreciation for that. Okay, so, and this really makes sense to me because this is all dealing with what I dealt with this morning. So, okay, so now we're going to the middle row vertically, and we're going to turn those over. As you're reading your cards, that is what's happening for today. Totally makes sense for me. This is the present. This is like happening right now today. It could be at noon, it could be whatever you need. So we could have past, present, and of course the last row could be future, or it could be this morning at 8 o'clock, at noon, or tonight. It can, that's the way it works. Is everybody clear on that? Am I confusing anybody? Michelle, I love your reaction. Wait until we get into this even a little bit more. Let's go ahead and turn over the last row. Oh. Oh. And that's the possible future. That could be this afternoon, that could be whatever, okay? So that's the general reading of how these cards go. Now, the first row going horizontally is dealing with your question. This totally makes sense to me. It's like, okay, I need to be working on my fourth chakra. I have been a little bit indecisive about some things that I really need to work on and come up with a strategy. That's what I needed to know today. Yes, Nicole.
So are we reading it both ways, vertically and horizontally?
And diagonally. We're not done yet.
Okay, thank
Okay.
you.
That's a great question. The middle of the row is giving you more information about your question. Okay. So for me, it was my fifth chakra. Yep, I definitely need to work on my throat just a little bit now. I've been thinking about walking away from some things and some people, which is really interesting. So that was my next card. And then a man holding a coin. Now that could be a whole lot of different things in my life. So it's like, okay, got it. And then the last part of it is giving you even more information about your question. And it can also be the action that you need to take for the question. And this is perfect sense for me. I needed more appreciation, blossoming abundance. I've really been working on that, but I'm also going to need some rest and rejuvenation. My last card, Kim. Okay. So see how easy this is? It's not difficult, but now you can also go up from left to right and read it diagonally to get even more information about what your question is. All right, I need to work on my fourth chakra, my heart chakra, definitely. I really need to think about what I'm walking away from and is it really going to serve me? And when and if I do this, I am going to need some rest and some rejuvenation.
Wait, so
Reading,
when we're reading diagonally, describe that. We have a grid of 9 cards.
right, so you're reading from the very top of the left card, the middle card, down to the right card.
Oh, just those 3 cards.
Okay.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And then you'll do it in the opposite direction too. This is going to give you more information. Coming up with a strategy to maybe help me with this walking away, if that's what I need to do, and having a great appreciation what I've already accomplished. So you can see how you can get really deep into the cards and let them tell you the story. Is there any questions? It's really easy. It's really easy.
I mean, this is a reading I could talk for like an hour about.
You could, because there's so much information right here.
Mhm.
And I'm just giving you just the general how to read it, because
Mhm.
it can go in really, really deep. Michelle, you had an aha. Do you want to share that?
Well, I had a couple of ahas. So I just had a session with Kim right before this, and I was telling her that I got a intuitive reading about my business for for a birthday present in October. And so I was telling her about the cards. So the first aha is this is the deck she used, Kim. It just because in the middle row, top card was walking away.
You know, man, I wish I said something in your session because I was like, there's a walking away card in the deck I gave you.
Yeah. And in the past column is the fourth chakra Archangel Raphael, which I've been told by many people is one of the angels that are around me. But my November card was fourth chakra Archangel
Hmm.
Raphael in the reading that I got. So, and it is kind of funny. I got some similar cards to Diana too. So.
Mhm.
And Nicole is saying that too. Which was similar for you, Nicole?
So I also pulled several of the chakra cards. I got the third, fourth in the first column, the fifth in the last column, and then when we'll get to it eventually, but the bottom of the deck was the second chakra. And
Hmm.
honestly, like as I kind of move forward with my business again, trying to figure out what makes the most sense. Yeah, I mean, all of this really does relate to kind of what I was thinking about and really needing to let go of some things while also bringing in. And I did read in reverse. I know not everybody does that, but
Mhm.
I did look at reverse meanings as well.
Oh, that's awesome.
That
That's
was
awesome.
one of the questions I was going to ask as well.
Yeah, you most certainly can. And I just did this very generically because you can get so deep with this. I mean, this was the first layout that I really felt like I got so much information and you can go so much deeper. And we could be here probably for 3 days going through that. And I didn't want to do that. So, and I didn't want to complicate it, but see how easy it is to get a lot of information with different spreads. The cross, what is it, Kim?
Oh, the Celtic cross.
I struggle with that, and it's me. Kim reads it beautifully. I struggle with it. I don't remember all of the things, but I could remember this.
Yeah, and I prefer the clock, which sounds like that's the reading you had, Michelle.
Mhm.
It's like a clock. It's like one card for each month of the year.
Yeah.
You read it, yeah, like in a
Yeah.
continuum.
Mhm.
The other thing is, Nicole, if you're reading in reverse, what's really important, I believe this is important before you pull your cards, before you even shuffle them, where they're all facing in the same direction.
Okay.
That if a card comes up reverse, you know that really was meant to be, right? Because it didn't play out that way. Yeah.
See, I've done that before. And then
Yeah.
I realize I'm shuffling that they're still all facing the same way. So like I have to intentionally make sure, like I feel like I have to intentionally shake up the deck somehow
Mm.
because like they're all going to stay in the same direction.
They won't.
Okay. I will
Yeah.
definitely try
Like
that the
depending
next
on
time.
how you're shuffling, because like, was it you, Michelle? Like when I'm picking a card, I'm picking it through the shuffle and it usually flips or falls down.
That's what I
So
do.
yeah, so it can flip and be upside down. It can
Mhm.
fall down and be upside down. So I would really say if you're picking your cards that way, definitely intentionally put them all facing the same way.
Okay.
Yeah. Whether it's right side up or upside down, however you want to read it.
Right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, there's Michelle. Michelle, how'd you do that?
I took a picture of it, emailed it to myself, and then
Holy crud. All right, so you have a couple upside down.
yeah.
Um, and is your woman holding the heart? Which position? She was the first card?
Yeah.
She's my last card.
Yeah. Well, and then also you haven't gotten to it yet, Diana, but my bottom card that you told us to put face up.
Yeah.
Guess what that one is, Kim? Blossoming abundance, which we just talked about today. So.
Yes.
That's in my bottom row. That was in my middle row. Yeah. So let's talk about why I have you turn your deck over and look at that bottom card. And I have a wonderful woman, a friend of mine, dear, dear friend. She reads tarot cards. And she taught me this. She said, Diana, you always want to turn your deck over, at least look at that bottom card because it pulls everything together. And so mine is a contract, and that makes sense to me totally. I need to make a serious contract with myself, and that actually came up in my writing as well. So, with everything, it just kind of affirms and confirms all the cards that I pulled, dealing with my question, what I need to do. So that's another kind of a clarification card of the action to take. Julie, how did you do?
I'm still trying to figure them out.
Okay, what questions do you have, like about the positioning, like what they mean, or interpreting
Well,
the?
yeah, I'm trying to figure out what they mean and I have to look at the book because I can't figure them out.
Okay, so show us one card that you're a little stuck on. And tell us where it was, like what position it was in.
I have a lot. I have a few of them that are reversed.
Okay.
Let's see. This was my middle top row card and it was reversed.
Angel of Strength?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So Angel of Strength, and I don't typically read cards reversed, FYI, I just don't, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go for it because, and Diana does, she will read reversed. So
Mm-hmm.
Can we read this? Can we read this deck reversed?
yes, you can.
Okay. All right.
Descriptions of it. So
Yeah, some of them
um,
you can't, some of
yeah,
it, yeah.
yeah. So the way I'm thinking about, first of all, the Angel of Strength is just like, to me, represents we have so much support always. Like we're never alone. And in the times when we need it the most, we often forget that we have it, right? So if we turn this upside down, this was in your past row. The one thing you've talked a lot about, Julie, is when you were young, it just felt so easy talking to spirit, being with spirit, felt so natural.
Yes.
Like your life with your family, everything came easy. Like you didn't even have to think about having support. It just was. So that's how I read that card for you, up because it's upside down, you know?
Okay.
Yeah. And it's like there was like a freeness and a lightness about you when you talk about that time of your life in the past. And then when you talked even about your career, like you had a really lucrative career
Mm-hmm.
and hard, developing and creating your coaching practice and getting that going. Whereas your career before that, everything again, like in the flow, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we need to turn it around. Just ask for that help for the now.
Right.
But that's how I read that card for you. Diana, anything
Okay.
about that?
Yeah, I really do feel that way too. It's just flipping it and again, believing, bringing in
Mm-hmm.
bringing in your little light just a little bit brighter.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah. And like she's got all that gold, like we've been working with the golden energy, like all that.
Right.
This card also mimics the strength card in the tarot. So Nicole, you might recognize that. So like when you think in the tarot card, like she's like fully the master over that lion, like she's fully in control, no fear at all. And in the
Mm-hmm.
tarot, the lion represents the ego mind, and the woman represents the soul, right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so if you think about it, even in terms of the tarot, right? Like
Yeah.
getting back to that reverse okay, for yourself. Like not getting so
Yes.
in your head and all of that, and just really being in the soul. And you have worked so hard on that. And there have been times when your readings are just like flowing, right? And
Yes.
while the ego mind's coming in, it's like you're still working on it. That's okay. We all are. But just like remembering, it's often nice to remember the readings and the times when like it really felt in the flow and it kind of ignites you and
Hmm.
that confidence too. Yeah. This was my overall, my bottom card.
That was my middle card,
Was your
that one.
middle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I really like this as a middle card.
I did too.
Yeah. Like everything surrounding like the soul.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ooh.
My
Love.
my middle card was Healer of the Ages.
Ooh.
Oh my gosh. Again, like another mimic of the tarot magician, which is like everything you need you have within you.
Yeah.
Hmm. Wow. Deb, tell us one of your cards. Now we're curious. We got to know.
Popped my cards into the chat.
Oh, you did?
Oh, you
Show
did?
up.
I
Where
don't
are-
see them.
I don't think
Oh.
they're showing up. It's showing as blank. Or
That's weird. Um, I wonder if it'll go now.
Okay. While we're waiting, I'm going to go back to Michelle's very last card.
Oh, that's so funny what just happened.
The goddess of the moon is like, the meaning of that card is like a powerful intuitive. It's a really great card. I absolutely love that card. All right, Deb, what's showing is like a PDF.
What it's saying is if you click on it, it'll just open the picture.
Oh,
And
okay.
see it.
I'm getting a potential security issue.
Oh,
yeah, I got that too.
really?
Uh-huh.
Mine's a work computer. There's a lot of extra stuff on it, to be
Oh,
honest.
yeah.
I'm saying delete. Well,
Yeah. All right. What's your middle card?
my middle card is like the one like smack in the middle of everything.
Mhm.
Um, first chakra, Archangel Michael.
Love that.
All right, now I have to ask about my middle card,
Okay.
because you're all making a big to-do out of them, but look at mine.
I can't see what it is.
Deceit.
Deceit. Okay. Okay. No, wait, no. Oh, I'm thinking of envy. Okay. Deceit. So if I think about the middle card, right? The other ones I was reading more as like the position of the soul. So like Nicole, like really actually like being in charge of her ego mind, right? And if I look at deceit for you, it's not like we don't want to get caught up in the head anymore. Like, don't get caught up in that. And one of the big things that you have worked very diligently on in this program is really sinking into the trust. You've done remarkable with that, you know, and when you distrust, you check back in with it. Like you don't just let it go. You don't sit in the distrust and lose an opportunity for your information. You go back to it. So that's just how I see that. Like there's still this sometimes having to go back into it. Because you're surrounded by the heel of the ages, the woman with the heart, the woman at the gate, oh yeah, the hostilities, which to me, again, the sword is the mind, like getting control over that. So those are two cards are next to each other.
That whole middle aisle then.
Yeah.
kind of
And the
actually what
action is reversed. So like when you get caught up in your head, you really can't take action.
Mhm. What is the middle row again, Diana?
So that would be the present. I'm reading it a little bit different. May I share this?
Okay, yes.
But I thought the present was the vertical middle row.
Oh, so we're going horizontally?
What is the horizontal middle row?
Okay, that's giving you more information on your question. Just giving you
Hmm.
more information.
It was such a generic question. What do I need?
Yeah. And that's why I didn't want to make it so complicated just to do this the first time. So what was your question, Michelle?
It was the question you asked. What do I
That
need?
you
to know?
needed to know today? And I'm sorry, I'm having a hard time seeing this. So we have deceit in the middle, right? What is the man saying? What is the title underneath that?
Hostilities,
Hostilities.
And then the horse is going upside down.
action.
Mhm.
Action, right? Okay. So there's a couple of things that your cards are telling me as, and I'm going to read them vertically and horizontally, is that you are very much in tune of knowing when there is some deceit or something that doesn't feel right around you. So you have the capability of walking away. It's the deceit is just saying, please beware. That's going to even become stronger. Okay. And then even the bottom card with the gentleman upside down, that reminds me of the hanged man, looking at things from a different perspective.
Mhm.
So, and keeping it clean and clear. And then what the same thing kind of going across. You have the gentleman there and you're making a decision. Do you want to go fast or slow, or have you made that decision yet? Whatever it will be exactly right for you, and walking away from that deceitful situation.
Hmm.
But it's really bringing for me an attention to you of, you got this. Your intuitive, stay in touch with your intuitiveness. It serves you well.
And to bounce off that, like one step further, Michelle, in your use of color, one of the things that you can tell with color around people is when they're being like fully honest with you.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
You can develop that skill for sure.
Hmm.
All right. So like if you're starting to have like a little feeling like, I don't think they're showing me everything, or you know, okay. Yeah. And people aren't always dishonest to like hurt us. Sometimes they're, saying, oh, I got this done and they didn't get it done yet and things like that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I want to bring a point up. I got community in my future card, the top right card.
Mhm.
So that means next week we're going to party.
We know you're trying to develop a community, a membership community too.
That's true. So that's in my future. My
Mhm.
top right
Yeah.
card is.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's much easier to develop a community once you have some sort of a following. Sometimes people want to start
Right.
a community, but then they have to wait a little bit. Yeah. Oh, we got Debs now. Okay. Gosh, we have a lot of healers of the ages. Gee. Okay. Oh, Door to Spirit. What's the top left card? I'm having trouble seeing that one.
Financial constraints.
Okay, financial
If you
constraint.
click on it, it will pop up.
Oh my gosh. What am I gonna do without you in my Zoom? Okay. Financial constraints, deceit, adjacent possibilities here. Archangel Michael. Oh, the temple. Wow. All right. I read every card pull as wow anyway, so I shouldn't even say that. Okay, so we were going to your middle card. Do you want to share what your question was?
My question was the general question, like, what do I need to know today?
Mhm. Okay.
So maybe there's a
So,
lot to know.
okay, so the financial constraints to me, it's like moving away. You're going to be moving away from that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and again, like deceit, how we can read that card is just really, sometimes deceit is us not being honest with ourselves too. So being really honest with yourself, like as you're building your business, being honest, Deb, about like all that you want to do and how busy you want to be. Okay? 'Cause I feel like you have the potential to get really, really busy, but I think you're going to want some free time built in around that.
Mhm.
Adjacent possibilities, that's already happening. Oh, so this is the past. I'm sorry. No,
That's
that's not the
Yeah.
past.
The
That's
future.
the future. That's the future. So that's already started happening with you because like people are asking you to come speak, come do this, come do that. So there's just going to be more of that, which is exactly what you've asked for. Like you don't want to be the one posting on social media to get clients. You want other people bringing them to you.
Yes.
Um, okay, present, healer of the ages, like you're getting in touch with that part of yourself. Didn't you just get Reiki certified?
Reiki 1.
Yeah. Um, so there's more to be discovered in there. Like you're just starting that journey of getting in touch with even just like the healing part of your work.
Yeah.
Archangel Michael, he's really known as like the protector, but this is also representing the root chakra. So like you're building, Deb, you build a sense of like you build someone a new foundation for themselves in your work because they come to you when they feel like that whole foundation has just been ripped away from out from under them. The temple pair. Oh, right. I'm gonna let Diana take over because I'm talking too much.
No, this is beautiful. I also think that with the root chakra, Deb, being grounded, because you love to be up here. Just like I love it up here. So just staying grounded too. And I think that's a message for all of us, right? Because I mean, oh boy, do I like to be up there. And following the path in the temple, which you do so well anyway. And that's only going to get more precise for you what your temple is, where you're going to be and what you're going to be doing
Like the temple within you.
in you. It's beautiful.
Mhm.
Not being afraid to open up that gate, walk through the garden, girl, walk through it. That reminds me of when we first met, I saw that you walking in the sand and looking back. I don't know if you remember me saying something like that,
I
just
do.
walking through. Victory is there for sure, all the way around, all the way around. And with the envy again, this card is very interesting. We talked about that. Is the gold that I see in that card is so powerful. So staying in that golden energy.
Well, and also like kind of remembering the
Yes.
temple inside of yourself,
Mhm.
you know? And I also feel like as your work becomes more and more known, like the way your clients are going to come to you, they're going to feel like they're in the darkness where that woman is,
Mhm.
and you were just bringing them to the light. And they're going to be looking at you for inspiration, you know? So it's not necessarily envy, but it's kind of like they're going to want to feel like you feel. They want to get there in their journey with their loss. So that's how I see that card too. It's like where your clients are coming to you, like where they are and where you bring them.
Kim, I didn't realize this on my future, if you will, the top right it was strategy, but there's a journal. It's a journal
Yeah,
log.
mine was the same.
So I have to start
Exciting today, ladies.
that was it. That's the reminder. Start writing again.
Start
So,
writing.
Yeah. Mhm.
This
so
Archangel Michael, first chakra, was my right bottom card. the right corner on the bottom.
The last card.
Yeah. So there again, Julie, too, get rooted.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Also,
so, Julie, like you are so interested in the angels.
Yes.
yeah.
And I saw that right away when I put the cards down. I said, "Oh, Archangel Michael."
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
did you say the bottom card meant, Diana? On,
Which one?
the
On the bottom
the
of the deck,
bottom of the deck.
it kind of brings the whole story together.
Okay.
So what
So
did
mine is man holding a heart. What does that mean?
oh, could there be a new love coming your way, or is there somebody
I don't know, maybe in the future.
could could this be a fictional person in your novel? Is this
Oh, there are a
uh-huh.
couple of people like that in my book. Yeah.
So it could be a whole number of things, but
Could be that little grandson coming.
Oh,
there you go.
I have a grandson coming in August.
There you go.
That's
See?
that's
He's
He's
cute.
gonna
Yeah.
steal your heart.
Aw.
And they never give it back.
They do not give it back.
So Debbie, were you going to ask a question?
Oh, I was just gonna say that the fourth chakra
Mm.
card was my bottom card.
Yeah, so the heart of the heart,
Mhm.
bringing this all together, which really makes sense because what you're working on is so powerful. That
Yeah.
goes right there, and I can see that heart right there in the temple. Oof, oof.
Yeah.
I got the chills just suddenly.
Mm-hmm.
So can you see how easy this can be and how much information you can get? And you can have so much fun with it. We don't have to make it so hard. And this is just something that I wanted to share with Kim and with all of you because I've struggled with spreads. It's like, what's the position of this? What is the position of that? And I work so hard at going back and forth on the spread. It's like, oh, now I've even forgotten the question. So it's just,
I'll create like a PDF in Canva with the positions and what they mean so that you and email that to all of you.
yeah.
I was just doing that myself, honey,
Do it. Oh, Michelle's gonna do it.
because I was having a hard time keeping up and remembering what
Yeah.
everything meant. But then I didn't finish it because I couldn't do it fast enough. So
Yeah, it's not hard. It's really
Yeah.
easy.
Yeah. All right, ladies, we kept you kind of long. I have a feeling Nicole had to get back to a meeting.
she had to take a call, she said.
Oh, she had to, okay. Oh, yeah, I see that now. Okay. All right, any questions before we part?
Wow.
All right,
So we're doing next week at what time? Same time?
same time. That's our last one. If you want to come to my class tomorrow, I can send you the.
I have a doctor appointment. I wish I could.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine. And I think that's it, right? If you have any questions during the week, reach out. Keep playing with your cards.
Thank you, ladies.
Give me till Friday to send you the PDF of the spread.
Okay.
Okay. All
And I'll
right.
see you tomorrow in your class.
Yeah, I'll see you too tomorrow.
Oh, good. Yeah.
All right. All
Thank
right.
you so much. And Diana, I'll connect with you. I know you're on my list.
No worries. No worries. I don't go anywhere. So
Oh, yeah. You got to
All
start
right.
having your Akashic readings. I'm
Yeah,
excited.
sure.
All right.
You.
All
bye,
right.
everybody.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.